Hey everybody, thanks for watching A Guy Doing Stuff. I'm Adam, and today I'm going to be making the neck blank. All my videos so far have been about getting the sides made, but I'm going to switch gears for a little bit now and start working on my neck. The first step for making a neck is to make a blank out of this mahogany board. If this strip of paper is a side view of the board, I'm going to be making a cut right here, 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 and here, and then gluing a scarf joint here like this, and then gluing a stacked heel like this. This piece of mahogany I'm using is quarter sawn. It's an inch thick, 3 inches wide, and 36 inches long, and it should be plenty of material for the entire neck. I'm going to start by cutting the angle for the peg head. It's about a 15-degree angle you have to cut. I want to work exactly from my plan, so I use this angle duplicator thing to find the angle I'm going to cut. Then I mark a perpendicular line about 7.5 inches from the end and draw my angle from that on both sides of the board, then connect them on the underside like this. I'm going to have to take the peg head down to a 1/2 inch thick, so I mark that line too before I cut the angle. These are all the marks I make before making any cuts. This area here will just end up being scrap. I make this cut on my bandsaw and I take my time to get it as straight as I can. I'm also going to cut it to thickness on the bandsaw. The bandsaw is going to make pretty bad saw marks, so I do have to clean these surfaces up before I glue the scarf joint. For this surface, I'll just sand it flat on the belt sander for now. I want to make sure these angles match, so to do that, I'm going to stick them together like this and then plane down these beveled surfaces together. I stick them together with double-sided tape, and then I use a hand planer to clean up the beveled surfaces like this. You're really going to want to spend a lot of time making sure the surfaces are square and even. One way to check this is to make sure the lip and the seam and the end are all square to the edge. If they aren't square, it means one side is higher than the other, which means the joint would be crooked if you tried to glue it up like that. Once I'm happy with the plain surface, I use a flat sanding block to sand it to 120 grit, then to 220 grit. Now I can take them apart and it's ready to glue together like this. Before I glue it though, I'm going to cut the 3 blocks for the stacked heel. I measure down from the bevel an inch more than what I need for the length of the shaft. Then I mark out a 4-inch block and then 2 3-inch blocks, and I cut on all my measurements. I'll come back to these after I glue my scarf joint. This glue up is a little bit tricky. If I just tried to clamp right here, the glue would act as a lubricant and these things would just slide apart. So I'm going to clamp the shaft to the table on its edge like this, then set the peg head up to it and clamp a stop block down right here. With this setup, I can apply pressure at the joint and they won't be able to slip apart. I use coals on both sides so the clamps don't mar the surfaces. I'm going to leave it clamped in like this overnight. While I wait for it to dry, I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue the heel stack now, and then I'll glue that to the shaft in one piece later. First, I'll sand all the surfaces I'll be gluing together flat with 220 grit. Then I'll glue it together like this with a clamp at every corner. I've seen some people glue all the pieces of the stacked heel and the shaft together all at once, but I like doing the stack first, then gluing that to the shaft, because it's a little easier to manage the pieces when it's not all at once. Alright, it looks like the scarf joint came out okay. The shaft surface is a little bit proud of the peg head, but that's okay because I gotta take this whole surface flush down again with the planer. I'll be gluing some veneers onto the face of the peg head, which adds a lot of strength to the joint and it makes it look a lot nicer too. That'll be a different video though. Now I sand the mating surfaces for the shaft and heel stack and glue them together and let them dry for a couple hours. The neck meets the body at the 14th fret. I get that measurement from my plans and mark it on the surface of the shaft. If the sides weren't radiused, I could just cut the neck square like this and be fine, but because I radius my sides, you can tell from the heel block that a right angle isn't going to work here. I'm going to copy the angle of my radiused heel block with my angle duplicator thing and transfer that line onto my neck, then take some time to line this up on my chop saw and carefully make the cut. When I do it like this, I'll be able to glue the fretboard down flat on the neck and the body of the guitar. You might have noticed that I didn't leave any material on the end of this for a tenon. Most guitars are made with a mortise and tenon joint for their neck body joint, which I am not going to do. I have found a small number of people on the internet just use a butt joint for this, which is a lot more simple. Really what it comes down to for me is I know my ability as a woodworker, and I know that I could probably spend a week and a couple $100 building a jig to cut the mortise and tenon and still not get it exactly perfect. So I just figured I wouldn't even try. I used a butt joint for my first guitar I made and it turned out really well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that again for this guitar. I will be talking about that more here in my next couple videos. Thank you to Worksharp Tools for sponsoring this series. I wouldn't even bother trying to get this surface flat without a sharp planer blade, and the best way to get a sharp planer blade is with one of Worksharp's tool sharpeners. I'll put links to those in my video description. Thank you guys for watching, and if you're not already subscribed, hit that little red button so you can keep up with the rest of the series. Okay, so I just realized I cut the right angle, but I cut it outward like this when it was supposed to be inward like this. I redrew the line on it. This is the line that actually needs the cut. I'm gonna go ahead and make that cut. It should be an easy fix, but just so you guys know, cut the angle this way because it's gonna sit on the guitar with the neck leaning back rather than the neck leaning forward.